Hey everyone, it's Steve here at the DJ Lab, taking a look at the Pioneer DJ XDJ-XZ and the Denon DJ Prime 4, and I just want to go over some of the key features to help you make a decision in what you want to purchase. First of all, on the XDJ-XZ, you've got a 7-inch display, 2 USB ports, one of them you can record with, and we also have a 3-band EQ on the master. You've got the auxiliary input, so you've got 5 channels to work with if you want to add something in there. And then another thing I really like is the fact you can plug in your turntables and align inputs such as a CDJ, and you can select it right there on the switch for whatever you want to do. So if you want to do on a line, the phono line, or you can have the computer, so you could have USB stick going here and then have Serato on this side if you needed it. So that's really handy. We've got the 2 microphones here. One of them I'm running through currently right now with a 3-band EQ on each, and you've got the feedback reducer with the high-low, so that's really good for wedding DJs and such if you're always working around speakers and microphones. What else do we have? When you hook a line input into this thing here on channels 3 and 4, you actually have full control over the effects, and you can record them into the system if you want to record onto USB. So that's pretty handy. And of course, we got the Pro Link. So if you got CDJ 2000s, I've tried it with a 2000 Nexus, Nexus 2, CDJ 3000s, all link up. There's 2 Ethernet ports in the back, plus there's a third one for a DJS 1000 sampler. It does have a send output, so you can use your send out to your sampler and use that. What else is cool, because of that auxiliary input, you could use your sampler on the aux in, so you have your 2 channels over here for CDJs. So you can have 4 decks plus the 5th for your sampler. It's a really cool system. We've got 14 effects, and of course you can select over 3 bands. So low, mid, high, or combinations of the 14 effects there right on the switches. And you can set that to be on the crossfader or the mics or whatever the master. Pick your channel. It's pretty straightforward, just like a DJM 900 Nexus 2. You've got your color effects, 6 color effects here with a parameter knob. So you can select those. One of the cool things, like I mentioned before, is that you can switch it from hardware standalone to software with just a click of the switch there, and you're good to go. One of the things I don't like, you cannot replace a crossfader. There's no screws there. You can't just pull the plate. You gotta take the whole unit apart. I'm not even sure if this is a user replaceable crossfader or not. I sure wouldn't want to have to dig in and rip it all apart. Some of the things I do like, good build quality. The pads are really nice. You got your hot cube, beat loop, slip mode, beat jump effects. Beat jump, only beat jumps up to 8. It's a bit of a downfall, but nothing that really affects me personally. You've got all your usual stuff, your sync button. You can adjust your jog. Jog wheels feel great. These things can go from light to heavy, depending on what you like. Overall, I really like the workflow of this system here. You know what I mean? It's very easy to maneuver. It's very familiar if you're using Pioneer equipment all the time. So that's really nice. The price is a little bit on the steep side, but you kind of get what you pay for. Like I said, it's pretty good build quality. This is not exactly like a 900 Nexus 2 build quality. It's pretty close, but not quite up there. And like when you're doing your effects, for instance, the display's up there for your beat parameters and stuff. It's not where you would expect it to be on a 900 Nexus 2, but this is exactly the same, the Beat Effects X-Pad. Now moving on to the Denon DJ Prime 4. Let me just get my notes here. So off the hop here, we've got the 10-inch display. And what I love about this display, it has a little kickstand in the back there, and it has 8 notches. So you can pop that to whatever level you need. This is great for outdoors, in a club, when there's video screens behind you. It's just a really smart feature that these guys added in. The screen's really nice looking, nice and bright. The touch capacity or capaciveness of the screen isn't as good as the other one, as the XDJ-XZ. It's a little different technology. You got pinch to zoom, multiple touch, where the other one doesn't. It is a 4-channel standalone, which means you can actually play 4 decks on this thing, where the XDJ-XZ is 4-channel, but only 2 channels internal. The other 2 are just for inputs. Has dual layers, so you can run 4 decks at a time, which is really cool. You've got 2 USBs on the top. These are USB 3.0, I might add, where the other one over there, XDJ-XZ, is only USB 2.0. SD card slot, 2 USB ports in the back, and you can pop in an SSD drive into the bay underneath to keep all your music. And then you just pop a USB cable into it, hook up to the computer, use the engine software to move your files over. It does have Wi-Fi capability, has an Ethernet port, so you can link it to other Denon products, such as another Denon DJ Go or the SC6000. So you can read the drives off each other and stuff, right? Because of the Wi-Fi, of course, you do have access to streaming services. You've got Beatport Link, you got Beat Source. What else do we got here? Let me just take a look. You got SoundCloud, Tidal. You can put things on your Dropbox and even pull stuff from your Dropbox. That's really cool too. What else we got here? You got Ableton Link. So you can, over a network, link this with anything that supports Ableton Link. So you can send your clock information from this to software or other hardware or vice versa. So that's really cool if you want to integrate this within your DAW or other pieces of hardware, or you got 2 of these guys and you want to wirelessly connect them to keep the clock between DJs. You got 2 mic inputs. You just got no EQ on this. It's just high-low, and you have echoes on each of them. You got 14 effects and 4 sweep effects with the parameter down here. The effects up here, they're kind of, they're not the best effects in the world. They take a little bit getting used to using. You just have to really play around to find exactly where you should set things. And you can't do mid, low, high combinations. You can only set the frequency, and when you switch it around, it doesn't remember where you were. So it's best to kind of pick something and forget it. Speaking of the effects, on the inputs, if you want to run phono inputs or line inputs on this thing, the effects don't work. It's only filter. And there's only 2 RCAs for each channel on the back, so you put your phono input in or you put your line in. You can't have both and switch them. There's just 2 RCAs, and you switch it on the back of the player from either phono or line. Unlike the XDJ-XZ, you can have your CDJs and your 1200s hooked up to it and just switch back and forth on a switch. So you can have a lot to choose from. What else? Another one. This is a big downfall. Hopefully they can change things. This works really good with Virtual DJ. I mean, really good. It's one of the best controls you can get for Virtual DJ, except when you start it up, it always fires up in hardware mode. And when you want to switch over to software, it literally has to restart itself. And I've got the phone going off like crazy in the background. Hopefully you're not checking your alerts. You can replace the crossfader on this. That's really nice. But the downfall of the whole system... Let me just stop for a second here. Turn that off. Sorry about that, guys. Pure maniac behind me sending me tons of text messages in a row. What I was going to say, the downfall of this whole thing is the build quality. The build quality isn't amazing. It's pretty good. You know what I mean? It's prosumer good, meaning at home, you're a wedding DJ, you take care of your stuff, you're not beating up on it, but you sure wouldn't want to have this as a rental unit and sending it around to multiple DJs, getting kicked around and stuff. I don't think this thing would survive Burning Man with dust and dirt on it. I'm not even sure if this one would. I know CDJs in a 900 Nexus, they managed to survive somehow. So I'm not sure. Things feel just a little bit more flimsy on this. The jog wheels, they're nice. They're touch capacitive. They're definitely not CDJ feeling jog wheels, but they get the job done. The pads are nice. You got hot cue, loop, roll, slicer. Your beat jumps are on the side here. So, you've got more features on here. And that's exactly what Denon gives you. You might lose a little bit on the build quality, but it's the extra features. The streaming services having access to all this music for just a few bucks a month, depending on what service you want to pick. Pick one, pick two, pick them all. Have access to everything if you want it. That's kind of what makes this the winner in my books, because it's a little bit smaller. Not much. You can see the size. It's a bit smaller. You have all the music in the world you could ever want. So that's nice to have. And overall, it's got a really nice workflow. I like the fact that it's 4-channel. I like the dual layer. You have multiple options for the views. So it's pretty customizable. I wish we could change the waveform to be RGB, or give me some options. Let me select what I want. I can go in here. I can change the color of my jog wheels for each thing, so I can say I know which deck I'm on, which layer I'm on. So that's helpful. And it shows up on your cues as well too, so you know what's going on. Overall, this thing is much cheaper than the XDJ-XZ, so more features, build quality a little bit less, but it's a tough one. I really like the Prime 4. I also really like the XDJ-XZ. They both have great features. There's both things about them that I love, and there's things about both of them that I hate. It's kind of up to you to decide. Hopefully, this has helped you make a little bit better of an informed decision when you go out to buy one of these two beasts. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great day or night, depending on where you are and what time you're watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the alert button so you know when I make a new video. Talk to you all soon.